Congratulations on completing the first 4 columns of your dramified feedback form. Doing this work has taken you to the climax of your learning story. You can continue playing with it, but leave the last column blank. We'll get back to it shortly, promise. Carl Rogers and Richard Farson coined the term active listening in 1957. Your goal as an active listener is to understand the speaker's perspective, regardless of whether you agree, and to communicate that understanding back to the speaker to confirm the accuracy of your understanding. This skill will help you clarify oral feedback given by the critiquer. Consider using this strategy during a feedback session. However, you can also internalize this strategy as part of the dramified process of feedback. Number 1, paraphrase. Restate the critiquer's same information with words that reflect what you heard. The critiquer will then focus on your understanding of what they said. Number 2, clarify. Even if the critiquer agrees with your understanding, you may need them to clarify what they meant. That's not to say that the clarification will help you, but it could open up a new line of thinking about feedback. Number 3, acknowledge. This helps the critiquer see that, yes, you understand their feedback. Even better, you get more information on how your work emotionally affected them. Active listening is a skill that can be used in any relationship and is well worth learning. However, right now, let's get to the heart of translating feedback into something useful. Here are a few strategies designed to help you manage how you feel about the feedback and bypass any resistance to understanding how to use that feedback. Contextualize reactivity. A volatile reaction often means your work has had a powerful impact on the critiquer. Whether the reaction is love or hate, the extreme emotion of critiquers can be an indication of success. Pervert trigger words and phrases. You may react especially dramatically when you hear certain words or phrases. Change those words to something silly or irrelevant. You won't forget the original words, but changing them takes the sting out of them. Assess the summary. Summaries communicate what the critiquer said and how they understood its meaning, so that you learn how well your work communicated your intention. You may be surprised by the meaning they eke from your work. Note patterns. If more than one critiquer says the same thing, you know you have a problem to solve. They may offer suggestions, but it's up to you to resolve the problems in your own way. Acknowledge their ignorance. Some critiquers may not understand your work because they lack the knowledge or experience with the content. This can be a good thing and help assure that your work communicates your intention. Recognize your ignorance. You can't know what you don't know until someone tells you otherwise. Sometimes you need to do further research. No need to beat yourself up about it. Just do the work. Resolve disagreements. Arguing with a critiquer doesn't help you or your work. You don't have to agree with what they say, but you also don't have to be obnoxious about it. Save the drama for your work. Reframe the content. Put a different spin on the feedback. Not all feedback can be reframed, nor is reframing restricted to putting a positive spin on perceived negative feedback. But this is a great skill to develop, and it is one that we will implement soon. Ignore the irrelevant. A chunk of the feedback you receive may have nothing to do with you or your work. Feel free to ignore it. That said, tangential discussions can give you deeper insight into how well your work communicates and what it inspires. Embrace inspiration. When you get positive feedback, embrace it. It's easy to forget this. You've already made great progress, so give yourself a pat on the back. As you likely suspect by now, reframing is at the core of the dramified process of translating feedback. Your assignment is to take a quiz to practice reframing. We'll apply these new skills and habits to your dramified feedback form after the next lesson. Talk at you soon!